Good morning, dear students. Today we will start the new chapter for class ninth. So, in the last class we have discussed with motion, isn't it? And so before that we have done one biology chapter, that is the cell, the fundamental unit of life. And before that we have discussed about matter, isn't it? So matter in our surroundings. So we have just introduced the chapter in the that is matter. So that is so what is matter, what are it is composed of, okay, about solids, liquids and gases. So those are all characteristics of those so we have studied in the first chapter. So today we will take the second chapter in the chemistry, that is matter around us pure, is matter around us pure. Okay, so what do you think, dear students? So is the matter around us, is all the matter is pure which are present around us? No, isn't it? There are different types of matters are there. Some are pure substance and some are having a mixture, isn't it? So what are these pure substance means actually? Okay, so these pure substance, what are the characteristics of the pure substance? When we call it as a pure substance, when we call the substance as a pure, and when we call it as a mixture. First we will discuss the characteristics of pure substance or properties of pure substance. To call it as a pure substance, first, pure substance, it should be so element or a compound. So element I have discussed in the last chapter. So these elements means they are composed of same kind of atoms. For example, so oxygen is present in nature. So in O2 form, that is two oxygen atoms are combined, isn't it? So that we can call it as an element. So in the same way, that cannot be separated by physical methods like filtration, what we have discussed, the physical methods. So we cannot use that to separate these oxygen atoms. So those kind of pure substance which are present so in a nature, so those are called as elements or compounds. For example, water can be called as a water, carbon dioxide, so which are made up of two or more. So these water and carbon dioxide, these are made up of two or more different types of atoms, but even they are not separated by just physical method, isn't it? So that type of compounds or elements or molecules, they are called as pure substance. Those substances which are present in nature, so which is made up of same kind of atoms or different kind of atoms, but which cannot be separated physically. Okay, so those kind of substances are called as pure substances. So first point is that then they are made up of only one kind of substance. They are made up of only one kind of substance. So that means water is water is present in a, so it is made up of different kinds of atoms, but the substance is similar. One drop of water it has a H2O molecules. So in the same way, every drop, so even you take salt water, any water you take, it contains the formula H2O only. It contains the same kind of substances. They cannot be broken down into simpler substances by chemical or physical methods. Okay, so these pure substances which are occur in nature, they cannot be separated. They cannot be separated into simpler substances by usual physical and chemical methods. Okay, so this is one more property so which the pure substance has, and they have a fixed composition. Wherever you go, which type of water you take, well water, pond water, salt water, okay, so every water has a formula of H2O only. Oxygen is present in everywhere around us. So throughout the world, wherever you go, oxygen has a O2 only. O2, it is in the form of O2. That is, they have a fixed composition. The composition does not varies from place to place or anywhere. Okay, so like that. So example, diamond. Diamond is made up of carbon atoms. Diamond is made up of carbon atoms, and so these have a fixed composition. The composition does not changes. So okay. So in the same way, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide has the molecular formula of CO2. CO2. So it is present in fixed proportion. That is, carbon 1 is combined with the 2 oxygen atoms to form a carbon dioxide. Like this, they have a fixed composition. These are the properties of pure substances. These are the properties of pure substances. In the same way, so let us come to the mixtures. Okay, so mixtures means these are formed by just mixing of 2 or more pure substances such that chemical property does not change. Chemical property is retained when we mix that. For example, so a simple example I will take. So stone in rice. Okay, stone in rice when it is mixed, or so when that is when you make the mixture of pulses, when you mix the pulses, different pulses and dals, so what happens? So even after mixing, so it does not change the property of dal or any pulse, isn't it? They retain their own properties. Just so physically we have mixed those pulses like that. So mixture, they are formed by just mixing of 2 or more substances, pure substances, such that chemical property will not be disturbed. It will be retained. It will be retained after mixing also. So such kind of substances are called as mixtures. Then there are different types of mixtures are there. So one is homogeneous mixture and another one is the heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture are the mixtures so which has uniform composition throughout. So the homogeneous mixture is a mixture which has uniform composition throughout. For example, when you mix salt in water, so you cannot differentiate, you cannot separate the layer of salt and water afterwards once it is dissolved. ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ನೀರು ಅಥವಾ ಉಪ್ಪು ನೀರು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಉಪ್ಪು ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ once it is dissolved, isn't it? So no separate layer is formed, so it has a uniform composition. That type of mixtures are called as homogeneous mixture. Okay, salt in water, sugar in water are the example we can give. So then is the heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixtures are the mixtures which are physically distinct parts, that they form a separate layer after mixing. For example, sand togotivi, okay, sand and so water. If we mix the sand in water or we take the salt and iron fillings mixture, so it form a separate layer. We can easily identify where the iron fillings are present and where the salt is present. And we can easily identify when mix the sand and sugar, isn't it? Okay, so where the sand is present and where the sugar is present. Like that, they form a distinct layer. For example, oil and water. When it is mixed, so oil separated by water, okay, it floats on the upper surface and water so beneath that. So like that, they form a 2 distinct layers which can be seen with the naked eye. So they have a non-uniform composition. Okay, these type of mixtures are called as heterogeneous mixtures. So next we will see, so what are physical and chemical changes. Okay, so in class 7th only we have discussed, isn't it? So what are physical changes and what are chemical changes? Physical changes are the changes which takes place where only physical properties are changed, like shape is changed when changes takes place, size of the substance can be changed, color of the substance can be changed, or state, from solid to liquid it is formed, liquid to gas, like that state of the substance will be changed. For example, when melting of ice takes place, the state changes from solid to liquid, and further so heating of that water leads to evaporation and turns into water vapor or a gas, isn't it? So like that, once it is cooled, again it is converted into water, ice. So again when it is water, and then again when it is freezed, it is converted into ice. Like that, physical property only changes. So in case of physical changes, physical properties are only changed, that is the shape, size, color or the state. So then when we come to the chemical changes means the changes which takes place where always new substances are formed, and it is a irreversible change where original substance cannot be obtained, and the chemical property of the substance will be changed. For example, burning of wood. Once the wood is used as a fuel and it is burnt, we get an ash, isn't it? We get an ash, and again it cannot be get into the wood, cannot be converted into wood. So like that, original substance we cannot get. The whole chemical property of the substance will be changed. Always new substance is formed. That's why it is called as a irreversible change. So this is called as a reversible change, where again original substance can be get back. So these are the difference between physical changes and chemical changes. So there are various chemical changes are there which are beneficial, and so some chemical changes are also there which are harmful, so which are not good. For example, some chemical changes such as curding of milk, okay, so and the dough into chapati, isn't it? So these are beneficial changes. The flour is made into dough. So like that, these are the changes. So chemical changes where so benefits are there. But some chemical changes are there like rusting of iron, tarnishing of silver, copper and bronze, brass metals, isn't it? So those are they loses the weight of the object, they loses the color, isn't it? And they loses the chemical property of that substance. So that's why these are the differences between physical changes and chemical changes. Okay, so then we come to the solutions. Okay, so solutions and their properties. So what are these solutions? Solutions means what? So we know that solution contain a solute and a solvent. We have already discussed this one in first chapter. Solution contains solute, that is a solid in which that is where the solid dissolved in a solvent. For example, salt is called as a solute. So and it contains a solvent. Solution contains solvent, so where the solid substance is being dissolved. Okay, so solute plus solvent gives rise to a solution. So when it is called a solution means it should form a homogeneous mixture. When it forms a homogeneous mixture where no two separate layers should be seen. No separate layer should be seen. So those homogeneous mixture of two or more substances, they are called as solution. For example, sugar in water, salt in water, okay, so potassium permanganate in water, so copper sulfate in water, okay, any salt in water, so that is called as a homogeneous mixture, so of two or more substances. Okay, so then what are the properties of solution? When we call it as a solution? Okay, ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿಬಹುದು. So solution, so in solution the particles are too tiny. In the solutions the particles will be too tiny, means too small, with a diameter less than 1 nanometer. Less than 1 nanometer. 1 nanometer means 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. That means it is too small, that 0.000009 times 0 1. Okay, so that much small, that much so meter small it is, the particles in the solution. So that cannot be visible or seen under naked eye. So they are not visible to the naked eyes. This the particles in the homogeneous mixture cannot be seen with the naked eye, and they do not scatter a beam of light. So in a circus hall or in some functions you might have seen, so they put a that is a light, isn't it? Spotlight on a person. So why do this spotlight comes? So because of the colloids present in the colloids present in the atmosphere. Okay, so when the light passes through a substance, if the dust particles are if the substances which are floating, which are present so in the atmosphere, so it should scatter the light. It will scatter the light and produce as a effect. So that is called as a Tyndall effect. So in case of homogeneous mixture, that is solution, So the particle is so small that they do not scatter any beam of light. They do not scatter any beam of light. They do not show any Tyndall effect. And the solute particles never settle down. The solute particle is so small and it is dissolved. No two separate layers are there. So they never settle down on keeping undisturbed. ನೀವೇನು ಡಿಸ್ಟರ್ಬ್ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಟ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಟ್ಲ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಟ್ಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಶುಗರ್ ವಾಟರಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸೆಟ್ಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ನೋ. Okay, dissolved completely. It will dissolve completely. It will not settle. The components cannot be separated using filtration. ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಶುಗರ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟರ್ ನೀವು ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದು ಫಿಲ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, isn't it? So such a small particles are there, that is 10 power minus 9 meter. So it cannot be separated by physical methods like filtration. So such example, one example I can give for this solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals. Two or more metals are metal and a non-metal. That is the alloy is formed. Alloy is a combination of two or more metals. So to increase the property and application of that, a metal or a non-metal. So example, steel is prepared by mixing the homogeneous mixture of the metal iron and non-metal carbon. Okay, so metal iron ಮತ್ತೆ non-metal carbon ಅನ್ನು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. So then steel is called an alloy. So then bronze, ಸೊ ಕಂಚು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಕಂಚಿನ ಪದಕ ಕಂಚು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಾನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟಿನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್. ಟೂ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಕಾಪರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟಿನ್. ಟಿನ್ is chemical symbol is SN. So then brass. So brass is a combination of copper and zinc. Zinc is Zn. So these two are metals combined to form a brass. Like this, alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, or a metal and a non-metal. Okay, so which increases the application and also that is a property, which increases the property of the substance and also increases the application. This is all about today's class. So go through the textbook, read the textbook properly. Okay, so then we will meet in the next class. Thank you.